Hello, dosto. So today we are going to analyze the budget 2024, and I'll be a little quick because my plan is to cover the basic key changes that have been announced, uh, probably in about 5 minutes. So let's get started straight away. Now, if you look at the provisions, I'll share my screen and take you through them. There's a small pointer that I have made here. So first of all, the change that I would want to talk to you about is the changes in the tax slabs in the new regime. So this was the earlier regime, up to 3 lakhs, no taxation, 3 to 6, 5%, 6 to 9 lakhs, 10%, 9 to 12 lakhs, 15%, 12 lakh to 15 lakh, 20%, more than 15 lakh, 30%. So if any person is earning 20 lakh rupees as his income, which is taxable, the tax liability will be 15,000 plus 30, that is 45, plus 45, that is 90, plus 60, which is 150. 150 plus 5 lakhs ka 30% is 150. So 150 plus 150, 3 lakh rupees. However, the changes that have been announced in the budget for the new tax regime, instead of 3 to 6 lakhs, the first slab has now become 3 to 7 lakhs. So 4 lakhs ke upar 5%, that is 20,000. The second slab, 3 lakhs ke upar 10%, 30,000. 20 plus 30 makes it 50,000. The third slab is shortened, 10 to 12, 2 lakhs ke upar 15%, that is 30,000. 30 plus 50 is 80,000. And the remaining is as it is, 80,000 plus 60, 140. 140 plus 150, 2 lakh 90,000, which means that essentially you are saving 10,000 rupees should you remain in the default new tax regime. 10,000 rupees of taxation plus, of course, cess. Now, that is one change. The other change is that the standard deduction has now been brought up to 75,000 rupees, which was earlier at 50,000 rupees. So, which is a 25,000 rupees additional benefit. If you take the 30% income tax bracket, 25,000 into 30%, 7,500 rupees. So if you add these two numbers, this is the 17,500, which is doing the rounds on social media and many websites. So this is how that 17,500 savings is kind of guaranteed by the budget 2024. Uske alawa, capital gains may one major announcement is that the holding period of 36 months is now done away with. So there are only two holding periods. For securities that are listed, the holding period is 12 months, and for all other assets, it remains at 24 months. That is a very interesting announcement. And the exemption from capital gains, if you remember, that was 1 lakh rupees, up to 1 lakh rupees annually, there was no tax. They have raised the bar from 1 lakh rupees to 1,25,000 rupees, which is good news, but partially because another thing that they have done is that the long-term capital gains, they have increased, although the threshold has been increased from 1 lakh to 1.25 lakhs for equity and for mutual fund units. The rate has also increased from 10% to 12.5%. So that's a mixed battle there. On one hand, increasing the threshold of exemption, on the other hand, increasing the tax rate. Short-term capital gains. Now, this is interesting. Short-term capital gains for, for the, which is basically applicable to equity and equity-oriented funds, etc., has now been increased from 15% to 20%. Mind you, all other financial and non-financial assets will continue to be charged short-term gains at the tax slab rates. Now, this is the other important announcement, of course, is that for all other financial and non-financial assets, long-term capital gains tax has now come down from 20% to 12.5%, which means they're looking at unifying the LTCG tax rates. And the indexation benefit, of course, has now been made redundant with this Income Tax Act, which was kind of with this budget, which is kind of a surprise, actually. Angel tax, which used to exist earlier, that was basically the excess of the issue price over the fair market value, was on that. The angel tax was paid by the issuer company, has now been abolished. And in this era where the economy is buzzing with startups and angel funding, seed funding, this seems to be a welcome move to kind of usher the economy and the GDP in the days to come. And the other very important and aligned announcement is foreign tax rates. So for foreign companies, the tax rates have uh, uh, for uh, for foreign companies, the corporate tax rates have now reduced from 40% to 35%. And of course, there is an increase in the short securities transaction tax on futures and options. For futures, it has increased from 0.0125% to 0.02%. And for options, it has increased from 0.0625% to 0.10%. Now, these are kind of the key changes that you would observe in this budget, which I thought I could prepare a synopsis and present to you. A lot of questions around how this 17,500 has been arrived at, and what are the major changes in the capital gain segment. I hope this kind of answers your questions. Thank you very much, and stay tuned on my channel, uh, YouTube channel Concept Canvas, and watch this space for more. Thank you so much. Take care.